Hello. So you're looking for a build around the minigun, the Goin Commando perk for the soldier. I've got the perfect build for you. Let's get into it. Also, if you do find this useful, please do let me know in the comments, and also don't forget to subscribe because I do make a lot of videos like this that you'll probably find useful, so please don't forget to do that. So, main hero here, similar to my other video if you've seen it on the Teddy build, the main hero here can be changed with other members in the squad. It all depends how you would like to build your, what you'd like to build around. So me personally, I go for a sort of more damage build with more of a longer cooldown, but as I say, you can swap these out. So the main hero I go for is Diecast Jonesy. The reason being is, if I go in here, you'll see the normal perk just increases the damage by 25%, but the commander perk also changes the damage type to energy, as well as dealing 50% instead of 25%. Now, in higher level missions, energy damage is so much more powerful, I think, than physical, because obviously you're doing still fairly high damage to all of the elementals. And also we've got this bad boy. I absolutely love Cyberclops. He's in most of my squads. He has the energy damage, has a chance to zap nearby enemies perk. Now this obviously would still be useful if you use energy guns, but combine that with a minigun that shoots energy. Oh, it's powerful. It is so powerful, and I prefer to just have the, longer cooldown but a super powerful build. But I can definitely see the perks of having, pretty much always having the minigun ready, as opposed to having it do this. But it's completely up to you whether you want to swap. So the first support is the increased duration. So for this, it's 5 seconds in the support. If you have it as your main character, it increases the duration by 20 seconds, which is insane. Now, the reason why I would never use this as my commander is there's often scenarios where you pull out the minigun and, you end up killing loads of enemies really quickly, and you've then got like 10-15 seconds left of your Goin Commando where there's no enemies to shoot. Personally, I'd rather have the Goin Commando be shorter but cool down faster, or do more damage like it does in this case, as opposed to it just being longer. But if you do really want that super extra long commando, then go for this. But me personally, I wouldn't recommend this being the main hero. If you are finding this video useful, by the way, please do let me know, or if you have any criticisms, let me know as well in the comments. But if you are finding it useful, why don't you drop a subscribe, and then you can see future tutorial videos, because they'll probably find them useful as well. The next one is the one that you could potentially really want as the main hero. So the secondary perk is the cooldown is reduced by 30% for Goin Commando. The main perk is 66%. Now, if you have her as your main character for this, the Goin Commando lasts, I think, about 15 seconds by the looks of it. The cooldown, once it's finished, is about 10-12 seconds. So you pretty much have it ready to go almost immediately after using it. It's such a trade-off because I love the energy damage, but honestly, her as your main hero, she's got good perks as well, good abilities, sorry. She's got the grenade and the shockwave. If you want to swap her out, I completely understand. I wouldn't be upset. Obviously this is your build, you want to build it how you'd want it. She is a perfect pick for the main hero. We've already been over Cyclops, but obviously he lets energy damage zap to nearby enemies. I find this really useful, especially if you've got your husks in a condensed space like a trap tunnel, or you're doing encampment missions, whichever it may be. He is a must for me personally, but again, as with the Teddy build video, you only want this guy in your squad really if you're using Boomstick as your main perk. Otherwise, it's not going to deal energy damage, and he's only going to apply to your main weapons, if they even use energy damage. I will show you some alternatives at the end that you can swap out. Next one, While Goin Commando is active, increase crit rating by 10 and crit damage by 100%. That basically just means you're going to do more damage. That's effectively it, right? You're dealing more damage. There's not two ways about it. That's all it's doing, basically. I say all it's doing like it's a bad thing. If he's your main character, it's the exact same numbers, but eliminating 5 enemies heals you and nearby allies. I don't really find that useful. I don't think it's a step up enough from the base standard perk, so I would never recommend playing him as your main. Just have him as your secondary. Finally, I have Survivalist in here. This is one where you could swap out for another Goin Commando specific perk or a grenade perk, something like that. This is completely up to you. I personally find this really useful, especially for encampment missions, because when you get to high levels, often the encampment missions have stuff like damage pools, life steal, you know, all these types of things slowing, and it really makes it difficult to survive when you're in the thick of it. If you have this on, you have that natural health regeneration because you're spraying them with, you know, bullets constantly, so you're just always going to be regenerating health. I think it's a necessity personally, so that's why I've got it in there. Now, if you're not using Diecast Jonesy as your main commander, as I said, you wouldn't want Cyberclops in there. So there's a few alternatives you could pop in. One of them is the Sauron's Might. Sarian? I don't even know how to pronounce that. But basically, every 1 second it adds a percentage of your health to the next range weapon hit, so this is just going to increase damage overall. It's not huge, but it's a good one. And then basically any perk you want to add here, if you want to use assault rifles, pop that in there. That's also good, you know, a sniper build, whatever. But another good one to have that works well with Commando is every shot increases ranged weapons damage. I am Jonathan Ross, hello. By 1% up to a maximum of 25 stacks. So basically, every time you use Goin Commando, you know, it shoots really fast. It's a minigun. It's going to ramp up to 25% extra damage pretty quickly. Honestly, at this point, as I'm reading it, I'm wondering if I should swap this in, potentially. But I do like to have a few different builds to go with. But yeah, this is another good one. I think Mad Tidings is also a decent one, which basically has a similar sort of thing where when you fire a weapon, blah blah blah, it's pretty good. It adds damage. So there's a few options there you can swap out. Again, if we look up here, I've gone for reduces ability damage. I've gone for reduces your ability cooldowns by 40%. It's an easy perk to activate. You're going to get this, you know, as you get into the sort of second area in Plankerton. You're probably going to have heroes with 2 stars, maybe even in Stonewood. That's going to reduce your cooldown on the Goin Commando, which will obviously not stack with the cooldown, but it's going to, it basically, it makes it really quick. So yeah, get in there. Then gadgets, whatever you want, but I've gone for turret and adrenaline rush, but it's up to you. If you have survivalist, you might not need adrenaline rush. You could put like a slow field in there or something, but that sort of stuff is where you can start to experiment a bit, I think. But yeah, that is the Goin Commando build. So again, I really do hope you found this useful. Hopefully it helped. If it helped one person out, then, you know, that's good enough for me. But if it did, let me know in the comments. If you think you could do better, also let me know in the comments. But don't forget to subscribe, because I do make a lot more videos like this and you'll probably find them useful, so don't forget to do that. But thank you so much for watching and have an absolutely beautiful day.